Good evening, model railroaders, and welcome back to the second section podcast where it's just regular folks talking about model railroading. I am your host, Andy Dorsch, and joining me this evening is my co-host, Mike Ostertag. Mike, how you doing?
Was there a
Credit-
skip? Did did that
No,
skip?
no,
Oh, it skipped
I
on
didn't. I
on
didn't hit the
this. See,
table. I didn't hit the table. The record did not skip.
I mean,
Not skip.
okay,
Not
all
skip.
right, because there was a nice, thanks. This is going
Mhm.
well already.
Yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, this is just great.
No,
So anyway, I hope everybody notices we put together a new intro. Let us know what you think of it. Oh, thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Try to get it to be more like the original one was like I had a lot of like train videos that I had taken and things like that in it, and wanted to kind of after 4 years we needed to kind of spice it up a little bit and make it more about the modeling, and so that's kind of the direction I wanted to go with it, and we wanted to go with it. So it's it took a while to get that taken care of, especially the audio portion of it. That was not fun. So
mm,
just a word of warning for anybody out there: if you get royalty-free music, check the licensing on it because it may not exactly be royalty-free.
that's right.
Right, Andy?
That's right.
So you got to kind of check that. Yeah. So anyway, it turned out really good. I liked it, and so hopefully everybody else likes it. So
Yeah, we
yeah.
got some positive marks there in the chat. Now, we're not going to be rude right off the bat. We're going to dive right into getting our guests on the topic here. We have two folks joining us this evening from Colorado? Question mark. Is that correct? So we have Jimmy, Brannon, and Jeremy Sir joining us this evening. Jimmy is from the Denver Terminal Freelance Railroad fame, and Jeremy is from the Arvada Western, also Sir Rail, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes.
Parent corporation.
Yep.
So, fellas, welcome to the show. Welcome to the second section. How you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
You know what? I'm doing okay. We're gonna do the awkward pass the microphone around to the new guys. And so we'll start with Jeremy. Jeremy, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to our section crew audience? Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do in the hobby, what are your interests, and all that fun stuff. How you know
Well,
Mike?
oh man.
Maybe talk about you know
We don't. No.
hamburger.
No.
Oh
We're
yeah.
not talking
Sorry.
about
Sorry.
that.
What happened at the
Yeah.
Colorado RPM?
Yeah, and
Stage at the
how you guys
RPM?
had an awkward few moments at
There was no awkwardness at all, was there, Jimmy?
No, there wasn't.
No, it was no awkward. No, Jeremy, I can't say it wasn't that awkward, but I mean, it was. We had a good time. I never laughed so much in my entire life with these two guys. I tell you what, these it was a lot of fun out there. So
yeah. All right, Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and break the ice here for us?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm the road owner for the Arvada Western, and I guess I'm kind of doing the whole Mac Rail thing with the Sur Rail thing. Road owner of the Sur Rail as well. Doing HO since forever, pretty much. Dabbled a little bit in N scale here and there, and of course, I decided I wanted to hurt myself and do also a little bit of HO3 here and there. So, but yeah, no, doing the Arvada Western, do weathering stuff like that, detailing. watching Mike do whatever he's doing.
Yeah. We've been following Mike all evening struggle with technology, and it's been kind of fun. So now, rumor has it you also are a real railroader for a day job as well. Is that correct?
Yep, that is correct. Yeah, I'm a chief dispatcher at smaller commuter rail here in the Denver metro area.
Oh, that's outstanding. So, do you ever get tired of it? Trains for day, trains at night?
No, I wouldn't say not really. No, I wouldn't say no. Of course, like any job, there's going to be some things to work through. But no, for the most part, it's pretty good. Can't complain. I get to work alongside with Jimmy, so we always keep the laughs going at work, and always bounce different modeling ideas off of each other. And we're right next to the joint line here in Colorado, so we're always also able to check out whatever rollings down the rails from BNSF or UP in the area.
Oh, that's awesome. So basically you get to hang out with Jimmy at work and throw ideas back and forth then.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, that's awesome. So Jimmy, we'll do the awkward mic introduction for you. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the section crew here? Take it away.
Well, good evening, everyone. Jimmy Brannon, the road owner of the Denver Terminal Railway. And I've been modeling probably since I was about 7 years old, really, really big into N scale. I didn't start doing HO till maybe about 6 years ago, and that was when I first met Jeremy, and it was their work. I'm also a chief dispatcher for the commuter rail system here in Denver. And it just started out, or it was supposed to start out as just a little switching little layout, and got some peer pressure from Jeremy, and then we would exchange cars at work. But when I first met Jeremy through work, we didn't know that we modeled. It was actually from the other coworkers, just, I guess just, the hearsay talking, and they say, well, Jimmy and Jeremy, they both model. Maybe you guys should go, talk to each other about it. And that's how Jeremy and I became friends, and been friends ever since then.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. So Mike, how often does this happen in the real railroading world that there's actual model railroaders embedded in it?
Well,
I'm here. It seems
more
like
often
more
than you
often.
think.
Yeah.
More often than you think. But there's a couple of different camps, really. There's the guys who actually physically do modeling, like Jimmy and Jeremy and myself and Justin Hendrickson and Luke Lemons and a handful of other guys. And then there are the guys who just like the history of the trains and stuff like that, and they're more into that. There's several guys that are, they don't own a model and they don't have any interest in modeling, but they have a really big interest in the history. I've actually got a conductor that I work with on a semi-regular basis that he is a huge Manitowoc area fan. And then his brother his family owns an industry in Denmark, Wisconsin, off the old C&W, now Foxy. And it just, he's really knowledgeable in all the stuff that is required for there, that you need to know about that line. So, yeah, it happens a lot more than you think. Nobody wants to admit it, though.
Now, is that true, Jeremy? Is it kind of like is it taboo to talk about?
I guess maybe the stigma you grow up with that, but as I've met the other people that are into the modeling, it's don't really care about it. But I also don't go and don't broadcast it. I guess you wouldn't know that I modeled unless you knew me personally or maybe saw me at a train show. And that's how other people at work have ran into me and knew that I do it. They've seen me at the train show here in Denver when they do it.
It's funny how you can be outed at a train show, and it's like, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, you got fistfuls of train cars and locomotives. I'm nothing. No, keep it on the down low. There you go. Right. There you go. So how did you
Well, the best part
guys?
about it,
Oh, go ahead, Mike. Yeah.
The best part about it is the fact that when you get guys at work sitting there giving you crap about something, and the next thing you know, then you see them at a train show, and they're not there with anybody. They went on their own, and it's like, yeah, welcome out of the closet, bud. Your secret's safe with me until it's not.
What's worse is when they show up to the show and they leave their kids at home.
What are you talking about?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
yeah, that's awesome. So now you guys have been, I guess have you been friends for a little bit? Now you're both freelance model railroaders as well. Well, do you also do prototype stuff, or is it primarily the freelance stuff that you guys are doing with Denver Terminal and the Arvada Western?
I can answer that. So
Sure.
I also like to model the BNSF, and so I like to put a spin with the BNSF to model, something that's freelanced. SD9s aren't part of the BNSF system at all, and they didn't get into the the most recent painted H3 or the swoosh
Right.
logo. So Broadway Limited, years ago they released SD9 model that's painted in swoosh, and I have that, and it's decked out with mackerel PTC antennas, and have a Wallace locomotive works air conditioner on it, and that gets a lot of attention when I bring it around.
Yeah, I bet. So that's another thing that you like to do is the super detailing as well, I'm assuming. Is that correct?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Little backstory. So growing up, being in my high school years, DCC was real popular with the sound, and I'd never had anything personally with DCC. Friends and stuff and had it, but then to hear locomotives with sound and to have them, Jeremy showed me some of the ones that he had, and I really liked the BNSF and Burlington Northern. So Jeremy had gifted me with a Intermountain SD40-2 that had sound, and that kind of set everything off in motion to become an HO modeler. So it was the sound, and then I really liked the details that you were able to see with HO.
Yeah.
So really, I guess being older, you really start to appreciate those finer details that you see.
Yeah. And then Jeremy, what was it like to, did you have the prototype bug at one point, or did you just dive right into freelance whole hog?
I was kind of a mix, but I was mainly prototype. I was doing the Denver and Rio Grande, but for my main interest, I've always thought that was going to have like a BNSF layout. So actually, like the idea that I had in my hand or in my mind for what I wanted to build in the future as a layout, is still the same line, BNSF line, the prototype, but just turned into the Arvada Western essentially.
Yeah.
Which has been cool because then it has allowed me to not just stick to the prototype. I've been able to take history and put more what ifs into it and kind of expand it out into more than what the BNSF prototype is.
Sure. So I'm going to ask you one more question, then we'll kind of get into the topic this evening. So what draw you both to the freelance world then? Because you guys are out, you guys have pretty prominent Facebook groups or Facebook pages. You guys are out on Instagram pretty heavy, sharing pictures of your models and such. So what pushed you into that freelance world?
So I kind of actually got into it without really thinking into it a really long time ago. I remember I had bought it was Athearn, like a ready to run I think it was a -9 or something like that, but it was like the -9 Denver and Rio Grande paint scheme with the speed lettering on the side. So I had gotten kind of interested in that way back. That was probably 2011, 2012. I think I had that, and I was running that at the club that I was with and at the time. And then I think later on, pretty much during COVID is when I started redecaling engines for Surrail. So Surrail actually kind of came first, and then it wasn't until later that the Arvada Western came about to have a better identity, I guess, for the freelance idea.
I see. So Surrail was the start of it all. What happened to our multi-group layout here? Oh,
That's
like
me
clicking
hitting
stuff.
buttons. I'm hitting buttons. I was trying to do something and it didn't work, and I still don't have it. Oh,
It's all
now I
right.
don't have the.
So you've also developed a little web page for it as well, which I'll bring up here just a second. But so Surrail was essentially the start of all of this.
Yes.
And so you started with the conglomerate first and then developed the line. Is that do I understand that right?
Yeah. So originally, like, I had the whole BNSF thing going, and I still do have a lot of BNSF equipment, but then I was starting to patch out certain leased units into Surrail to have with my BNSF equipment. So like my first like freelance engine that I ever did was actually a BNSF, or no, sorry, a Surrail SD45.
Oh, cool. And you even got a roster out here as well. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So what about you, Jimmy? How did you get bit by the freelance bug?
It's a little bit interesting story, but that's what makes the, I guess, the community that we're in kind of great. So I was buying positive train control antennas, 3D printed parts from Macro.
Yeah.
And so some people may be familiar with the model train store Caboose Hobbies in the Denver area. So they were the largest model train store in the Guinness Book of World Records. And with that store being closed, there was another store here in the Denver metro area. It's, they were called Rocky Mountain Train Supply, or also N-Scale Train Supply. And they were a dealer of Macro, Macro parts. And so to model, the modern times of BNSF, the locomotives had positive train control antennas. And one of the owners of that N-Scale Supply store, Scott Phillips, he actually introduced us to Greg McComas. It was one of the years, probably 4 years ago, about Greg had came to town for the Rocky Mountain Train Show. And then he introduced us also to Chris. And then, Chris had the concept of home shops with the ready to run, freelance cars. And I asked Jeremy, well, so what's the freelance concept? And then, he explained it to me with the Utah Belt. That's something I've seen in, Model Rover magazines growing up,
Mm-hmm.
and, the Virginia and Ohio as well. And so to be able to buy the car done, not have to paint it or decal it, the detailed car. So that's what really struck for me. And I didn't understand, I met Chris, but didn't understand that he was, like the owner of the home shops. Didn't understand that. And so I didn't even understand that his railroad was the Texas and Great Northern. But when he released that first run of it was the tangent covered hoppers. I bought all of the ones for Greg, and then for his railroad, the Michigan Interstate, and as well as Chris's Texas and Great Northern. But took a few more months to realize that Chris, Palmieri was the owner and creator of home shops. But that's what it was for me, and maybe I kind of peer pressured Jeremy into doing it.
No, what's funny too about that whole thing is that there's a picture out there with Jimmy and I and Greg, and I think Chris took the photo.
Yeah.
Was it at the Rocky Mountain Train Show?
It was the store.
At the store?
Rocky Mountain Train Supply.
That's awesome. Oh my God. So you didn't. So it was funny because I got those same Michigan Interstate tangent. I think they were the 4750s, weren't they? That they came out with.
I think so.
Yeah, and I was. Greg McComas was one of the, I guess, early influencers that I've picked up on for. And Mike shakes his head. but he for freelance as well. And I'm like, what is this Michigan Interstate? And then I'm like, oh, I got to get some of these cars, right? But yeah, so you had a similar experience. I had like with Palmieri, I had no idea like he was the owner of Home Shops. And the Texas and Great Northern was his road. I just thought it was another cool label that we could just get our hands on. That's funny. That's really funny. So that's interesting. So someone spied out something, Jeremy, by your printer there.
Oh yeah.
Says do I see a Mascoutin Valley logo by the printer at the Arvada Western? Look at that. So that's the latest one from Home Shops, the SD38-2s that they came out with, isn't it? So what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of that one?
That's a great engine. I think
Yeah.
everybody should go buy some.
I think everyone should go buy some, and I think that's gonna. Mike's got his. Look at this. Everyone grab your SD38-2 in the Mascoutin Valley. There you go. So these just started shipping.
They are loud.
Are they?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's loud.
And I just got mine. I got mine just before the show this evening. 6 o'clock they showed up at the door, and so I had to quick run downstairs, get them unboxed, put them on the layout. But hashtag not sponsored. These things turned out really well, and I just want to maybe give a plug here to Home Shops. They have out there right now. They're still under what they call the pre-order. But right now, the Mascoutin Valley SD38-2s are out there. Some of them are going pretty quick. The silent ones, only a few left. Ohio Southern, I've seen a few of those out. The Jim Hediger line, those are out. I'm seeing out on Facebook and social media. A lot of people branding those out, and of course, I did see a picture of the Texas and Great Northern, and boy, is that a sharp-looking locomotive.
That paint scheme that just transitions to anything you throw on it, it's going to look good. It just does. Yeah, Georgia. Those guys over at Georgia Pacific really knocked it out of the park with that, and Chris has done a great job adapting it to his Texas Great Northern.
And it's scale train stuff, so it's it's always at least in my opinion, I'm a scale trains fanboy, so it's always good stuff. But yeah, fun day for me to have a piece of equipment made by a manufacturer on my little short line, which it's really cool. So yes, that's our hashtag not sponsored segment tonight. I guess
we're all over the map tonight. All right, let's get into the meat of this whole doggone thing.
And not hamburger.
Meat, huh?
And we're not talking about hamburger. We'll get into that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We might just have to have Jimmy tell that story at one point, because it's going to be, you got to tell the clean PG-13 version.
Yeah.
There's the PG-13 version?
There's sort of, yeah. But it's just at one point we'll have to have that story told. But Jimmy, what I looked at a map of your Denver terminal, and so are you modeling like things that used to exist that you've taken and made into the Denver terminal and then created a bigger system from the Denver for the Denver terminal? Or explain how you came about making the Denver terminal what it is today, because the map is intriguing. The Denver area map is really intriguing to me.
So there is a shoreline in Denver called the Denver Rock Island, and they had blue locomotives. I think. What is it? It's the Jeremy. Are they SW 1500s one that they had, or is it the
1000s? I think.
So there's also then the BNSF, they have a
No,
local
12,000. Sorry,
So-
1,200.
1200. And then the BNSF, they have the job there. That's the market. And, that one's like a loop. When you look at it from the, from like a Google GPS view, the overhead satellite, it's a loop with the different industries in a yard. And that's pretty easy to, I think, conduct railroad operations with if you wanted to model that. And I had a 4x8 once upon a time set up in the basement. That was, like an island that you walk around, and it was kind of a copycat what the market job was that the BNSF has there. So, and then with the Tennessee Pass, that's one of the biggest, known things here in Colorado there on the Union Pacific system. So formerly Rio Grande, I just took, lines that were, I guess, like defunct or the ones that I liked and made them into the Denver terminal system.
So you have so basically you're what, Mike?
Nothing. I'm trying to find a map on it while he was talking. I'm trying to find a map, and it's just I'm having a day with technology that is like,
sure.
I hate this thing.
Sure. So I think I could probably bring it up for you guys. If that's
I'm
all right.
almost afraid to touch buttons at this point.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll bring it up, Mike. So I got a couple.
So here's what's going on, guys. Just in case you were wondering, I took the stand-up desk concept of what I've got, and I'm in my layout room as a shop, and I'm not connected directly into my hardwire, the Ethernet. So anything I'm touching, there's a lag, and it's just I'm irritated. So I apologize for any of that stuff. So thought I'd try something new.
Let's see here. And then on your website, Jimmy, do you have a system app just for the Denver terminal?
I think it's got, you go to the subdivisions part there.
Yeah.
So there's
there.
So that's like the Commerce City portion there.
Yeah.
And this is what you're trying to get at, right, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's really intriguing because it if I remember reading it right, you have that section and then you have other lines that spider out from there, correct?
Yeah.
Like in theory and concept. So what exactly how does that works on the quote unquote system, like the D&T system or the DT system? How do the main lines operate? Are they operated as separate railroads within the Denver terminal system, or is it just a whole part of the whole the railroad armada that you've got going on?
No. So it's one railroad with the portion in New Mexico that's called the ZIA. But Andy, if you scroll down there, so this Boulder branch, that is actually that's former Union Pacific. So the transit company here in Denver, they had acquired that right away, to build for future use for like commuter rail system as the area grew. The commuter rail line only runs up there as far as, when you're looking at that map, it goes through Commerce City, Thornton, and North Clinton. Doesn't go clear up to the Erie portion or the Boulder area yet. But Union Pacific acquired all that right away there. And so working for that company, I had access to the map and seen it. So I added it to my story, for, future, commuter rail line operation for the metro area to tie it into my system. So, and then I guess, the Tennessee Pass line.
Pirating company secrets.
I only steal from the best. I don't need to reinvent the wheel there. So.
Right.
And then, of course, Tennessee Pass, that's really known, that's the highest operating, main line, in the United States. So with it being defunct, it just carries, through traffic, just, very similar to what the Denver Rio Grande did in, I guess, within my system there. And then I tag team a lot with Jeremy, to share the idea, to, model with my buddy of how to move freight across, through what's called the Front Range Network. And so it's also, incorporates Jeremy's story, and he's helped me write a lot of it too. So
That's awesome. It's fun to model with a buddy.
yeah. And then that Zia portion there in New Mexico is just something I liked. I saw Jeremy, taking over everything with Surrail, so I had to, I had to stop him somewhere.
Nice.
So Jeremy, you get along pretty good with Greg McComas then, hey?
Who?
At Mac
Greg
Grill?
who? I've
Yeah,
never
yeah,
heard of him.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, Jimmy, I told you. See, it's these guys. I tell you, they're just taking up everything.
You have to watch it sometimes, so gotta watch it.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
So your topic that you wanted to share with us this evening about your railroad was essentially modeling in a small space. Is that correct?
Yeah, so to lead with that, I don't have that big basement layout. If you follow me on social media, I in the process of building that, but to be known amongst the audience and everyone here, I don't have a layout. It started with taking pictures of the equipment that I painted up in the Denver terminal, and using just a small diorama with a photo backdrop, and posting it on social media. But I can talk about that and what it is, and I can show it.
Yeah. I think you had some.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Had a
definitely.
little almost like a clinic of sorts.
I do, yeah. I can
Yeah,
show it.
let's. Yeah, I think the audience here would really want to dive into that. Oh, I see. I'm late to the party on the private chat there with your
Problem.
the map. I'm sorry.
So Mike had helped me with this, with
Jeez.
sharing the screen. So thankfully I'm able to do that here. So Jeremy and I, we both had separate clinics at the first 2025 Colorado, RPM here. And so that was the topic that I really talked about was, modeling in a small space and being able to get out there. So 1717 here, it's a, AMD GP9. It's Boston main locomotive. So I had this all painted up, and set up, decaled. But, how do you get your information out there, right? How do you show people what you got? Jeremy knows I got it. Some of the people at work, I know I got it. But how do I get my, how do I get my story, my image out there to, people like Mike, and yourself, Andy?
Yep.
Let's see here.
That's a cool locomotive.
And so this is just the power
isn't it?
that I had there. So this I've never seen no one do it. If it's been done, I didn't mean to be the pioneer of it, but I started here with this foam board, and so it's you can get it at any home center. It's the 2 foot by 2 foot. It's by 1 inch thick. So I cut it in half. Just cut it in half, and then use this temper hardboard project panel. That's just 2 foot by 4 foot, and it's an inch thick. It's a lot of people use that for lighting balances or fascia on a layout. So just talking with some people, they gave me the ideas of that. And so here, just the simple plan of that, foam that's cut in half. So it's 2 foot long by 1 foot deep. And I just put cork road down to elevate the track. And then it's got a double track section there. I use microengineering. It's that pre-weathered, or not weathered, the one that's it's already like the rusted look. I just bought that for ease, and then I used dual gauge for H13. Jeremy had a lot of H13 models, so it'd be neat to see them out on this little mock-up and take pictures of them. I thought it would be neat to see them versus just sitting in boxes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is, just scenic up. I don't think it's nothing special. It's just like the stuff that you could buy, like the Woodland Scenics material, and some sifted dirt, but it's just that foam board that's cut in half and scenic up with the backdrop. And so this backdrop I got at the model train store here, Rocky Mountain Train Supply. It's a realisticbackgrounds.com, and it's the farm scene. And so just have a light. Jeremy, I remember I set this on my couch. I would sit it on my couch and have the backdrop part up against the backrest of the couch, and then just turn all the lights on and just take a picture with the cell phone, right? And so, as you can see, when you start getting closer to it, it looks better. But I put the ruler there for reference to show you. And then,
oh, cool.
So these are pictures that I took today. These aren't the ones from like social media that I was using earlier on. And so when you put your phone up closer and kind of angle it there, it gives you that illusion there that that you're kind of there. And so this helped get me started with being able to put pictures on social media.
Yeah.
Then I also have other backdrops that I just I glued onto those to that hardboard, and then you just turn it around and there's a different backdrop, and they're all from that realistic backgrounds. And so that's how I would create, I guess, like another scene to have two, but it's just still with that same little 2 foot long by 1 foot deep diorama that I was using. So
there's no excuse then.
I don't think there is. I really think that if you got models and you got them, and you want to make a presence on social media and show them off, you definitely can.
I think yeah, go ahead.
No, I would use the couch, or sometimes I bring this to Jeremy's house, and then we would like set it like on like the set it like on a hard chair, like a kitchen chair. And Jeremy had some lights. He had Hughes lights, Philips Hughes lights, and that's like a whole nother story for a different time. But using more lighting effects with it to take, like whether it's like a nighttime using blue, or having lights at a different angle. So it really helped take pictures, and that's how I started early on getting the Denver terminal image out on social media.
The really cool thing is the fact that you could actually take this and use it without the backdrop and just take it outside, take it anywhere you wanted to. Yeah. And if you wanted to go and have like this as trundling down through downtown Denver, you can find a spot in downtown Denver or by the Stockyard District or wherever the heck it is, and you can just go and take pictures of it there, pack it up, and go. I mean, it's small. That's a brilliant idea. I should build one of those.
Yes, you should. So Jimmy, like, do you have other dioramas like this, or is it just this one?
So I do. I have another one. I think there's a picture here. So I took this in the backyard of my house cool. last, I think maybe July. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
And this is also one that or maybe 2 years ago, I took this one. And I remember this one really got a lot of social media attention. But yeah, bringing your diorama outside.
Yeah.
Other people in the hobby, Ken Patterson, he takes really, really big dioramas outside. And so
right.
It was really, really small. I just take the engine out, with the box and the diorama in one hand. And I'm out about. I'm pretty sure I set this on the tailgate of my truck. Took a picture of it.
I'm going to say something controversial here.
Oh boy.
I think this is a fantastic way to combat AI slop that's out there. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
That AI slop is everywhere. There's no need for it.
And it's not very accurate either.
Boy, I don't know. I think you could real easily just go out and set something up like this, and away you go, and you're sharing good quality model railroad content.
You use your phone for this, Jimmy, or do you have a regular camera that you use?
No, I've just been using my phone just for simplicity of it.
Wow. Now, do you stack your photos then, like to get like so that it's clear all the way through? Do you use like other computer programs to like clean up the photos, or do you just the photo is what it is?
No, so like in some of the photos I do, yes, but the early on photos and like the one that's here, no, this is just the zoom feature, and then I don't think I use any other effect. It's just zoomed in, or it's focused on like the lettering in like the number board, and then that's how you get that effect with the clouds looking kind of blurry. It's just done with the cell phone. I have an iPhone.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I love it.
That is
And
really
so,
neat.
I'll move here to talk about another. Let's see. So now this is the scene of the 69th Street shops that I have, and so this one I haven't taken outside, but this is just 2 foot by 4 foot, or excuse me, 2 foot by 4 foot, and it's that pink foam insulation board. But this one's 2 inches thick, and here's how that scene looks. It's the Walters car shop kit, and I had bought this Walters car shop kit. I bought it at like a train store, I think in Colorado Springs. Just Jeremy and I, we went to it's a narrow gauge convention, a few years ago, and I bought that car shop building for just $10. It was done, already put together. So that sounds like a pretty great deal, and that's what really gave me the idea to make, I think, the shop scene.
Yeah.
So Jeremy gave me the idea. If you look towards the background there, you can see that there's it's an elevated track with a fence. So that's like the main line. So you could stack other cars there with engines at the lower line of the shop. And same thing there. So when you zoom in, right, or if you put your phone down closer to it, it gives you the effect that you're there, and it's just using the focus feature of your iPhone there. I do like the lettering or something to use the focus on. It blurs kind of the ground and the background out.
Yeah.
Can I just make one comment here, Jimmy, real quick?
Sure.
From a locomotive engineer's aspect of it. Okay. I hate those new things that they're using for heaters and air conditioners that go on the walkway. You can't see in front of you. You can't see down to the steps anymore. They're blocking your view. Why would you do that to your guys?
Hey, does it violate anything with the union?
Well, no, it does. They do work really good.
Is it a heater?
Really,
Is
really
it
good.
is it a heater mic?
Yeah. It's a heater and an air conditioner, and I just had an engine a couple of weeks ago that had that on it, and I'm sitting here going, I almost wish I had a North American cab because I could see out further. Whereas I'm trying to look down at where my conductor is, and I've got this big box in front of me. So they are really, really nice though. I mean, they crank out some really nice heat, and they do cool the engines really, really nice. Oh yeah. Oh my God.
So
they're better than the
warm.
rooftop ones. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Could you cook hamburger
but
on
it's just No.
Have you tried?
Have you tried?
Have I tried? I have not tried. I have not tried, nor do I think I'm going to. I don't.
Just go out and get like one of those like banquets, the Salisbury steak, like really cheap, $1, and then just set it on there for a shift.
Yeah.
You're killing me. You're killing me, dude.
So there's for the folks, there's the pre-show antics. This started early on this week with Jimmy, Jeremy, and Mike and I in a group chat on Facebook, and there's a side story about cooking hamburger. And if you guys stick around to the end of the podcast, we'll let everyone in on the inside joke there. So that's a little teaser for everyone to make sure that you guys stick around. But yeah, there was some antics this week, and we'll let you all in on the secret about the hamburger at the end of the show. Please, Jimmy, I'm sorry. We're sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, sorry about that, Jimmy. I just noticed that detail, and I'm sitting here going, "Oh my God!" But that engine is so cool.
I use the walkway, mounted, air connector there because 1717 has a dome on the top of it, or not a dome. I'm sorry, a beacon on the top.
Yeah,
that's fine. So, and here's another angle. This is a picture I took tonight. Again, so facing, I guess, like the front facing the front of the building. And so the sign there of the on the shop building above door number 2, it's just, it's printed with just laser jet printer, and put on
Really?
cardboard, and it's you take some Scotch tape and loop it over itself to make it double sided, and just affix it to the building there, and then you can take it off and put a different sign up. Like, I've done that before. That's a trick Jeremy and I have been doing.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So is there a story behind 1717? So you said it was a former Boston Maine unit?
Yeah. I had bought this off eBay. I bought a new off eBay. And I like the color blue. It was my favorite color. So with wanting to, dive into the freelance railroad there, kind of wanted to do it quick. I didn't want to repaint a whole locomotive. I decaled before, but not how I've been doing since I've been doing the freelance everything. But I like the color of it. So we took all the decals off of it, or like the factory printing.
Yep.
And that's where I started putting, I had the decals made up for the Denver terminal and put them on there. But I actually didn't like how it turned out. With maybe how the clear coat looked, and I weathered it up a little bit and said, it looks kind of better, but I don't know. I was still kind of, I guess, iffy about it, but I like the color blue so much. I really, really thought about just completely, I almost wanted to throw it away. Not
really.
Yeah, I just wasn't happy how it turned out, I guess. But it grew on me, and then I added some more, added more details to it. And then 1717's become, the most iconic, recognized locomotive of the Denver terminal. It's the one I always take in all the pictures, the one I bring with me to places, and people recognize that. They may not recognize me, but they recognize, 1717 locomotive.
I think it's awesome.
So it's definitely here to stay. So it's got ditch lights now, This one, it was I didn't have a decoder. I ended up replacing the whole board on it with like a PMP style decoder board, and then adding the beacon to it, just what I liked.
So how when you're creating these dioramas, how long does it take you to get? I mean, so you talked about the building, and that was kind of already done up for you, but kind of from start to finish, getting set up so you can basically start taking these pictures. How long does it take you to get there?
Jeremy, help me out here. So the first diorama that I showed, the really short one, that one was just made, I want to say that one was just made maybe 2 days. I remember I had already had 1717 finished, and I wanted to take a picture of it somewhere. Not
took longer for the glue to dry.
Yeah. So waiting overnight for that. The shop diorama, again, it was pretty quick. Shop diorama, because it didn't have to build the structure it was made. That back track, like the main line that's elevated, that's 2-inch. It's the Woodland Scenics, the riser, just level riser. So, and then it's it's the plaster sheet, the Woodland Scenics plaster sheet. So between waiting for that to dry and then waiting for all the glue to dry with everything, because again, the track's just it's the micro engineering, the one that's already I guess like the weather defect that's like oxidized. So no, this one the shop was done in a weekend too.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you just switch out different backdrops. I mean, so you're ready to roll here in a few days.
Yeah.
High quality pictures and models. I love it. There's no excuse. Sitting on your couch, not modeling, go get a piece of foam board. Let's roll. Let's get going here.
Yeah. So I like to peer pressure individuals to, get out and model.
Yes.
I show you that you can do it. So
yes, I love it.
Let's see what I have here next. I think it's another picture of the shop. Oops.
Do you keep adding to your dioramas, even, like if you see something from, Wallace or Macrail or anything like that, and say, oh, that would look good on the shop, on the shop diorama. You just constantly keep adding to them, or
No, I have.
once you
I have. So yeah, I've had the shop diorama 4 years now, and it didn't used to have like the fence or anything. It didn't have the printed sign and stuff like that. But no, like I've always added to it. I recently added. I had a better technique to apply the static grass. Seen a video from Boomer Diorama. Jeremy kind of put me onto that one. You kind of pinch the fibers together and you stab it into the stab it.
Yeah.
So I recently did that. Maybe like last weekend I did that.
Jimmy was
Boomers.
tired of watching me shock myself.
Oh man, no, never mind. Anyway, you could go and like Boomer's videos are addicting.
They are.
They are very, very addicting. And the beautiful thing about watching his videos and learning from what he's done is the fact that he does make it sound so easy. And when you go to do whatever it is, like he's doing it, it actually is just as easy as he is describing. There's no tricks there. It is literally that easy. I just tried doing some ballasting on my layout right here behind me, and it's the first ballasting I've done in a long time. And I used the solutions and techniques that he was showing, and I'm like, this is going to be so much cooler than anything I've ever done before, because it is just working. It worked out exactly like he said, so Boomer can really be, that's a rabbit hole in it all into itself.
Absolutely. And so I like to add here. So, the equipment you see here. So Kilbrick Southern, that's another freelance, railroad. And then this is actually the Wallace, Chris Wallace from Wallace Locomotive Works. This is his, freelance railroad. I forget I can't see what it's called, but I think it's called it's Seaboard, Florida, or
Florida Seaboard.
Florida Seaboard.
Yeah, Florida Seaboard. So, for the RPM, for the 2025 Colorado RPM, the different friends that I had, I asked them, would you be interested in maybe, mailing me, some of your equipment, and I can show it at the RPM. And then they did. And so by, building the community there, with your friends, they, follow you on social media. That's kind of how you interact with them. To have their models here, at the 69th Street shops, it's made for a great opportunity, for storytelling, right? You could, it shows their, shows their equipment, getting around the country too. So, and it was just with the diorama. It's not a layout. So,
right.
Diorama there. And let's see here. So now this is another one here. So this is that, I guess the mainline portion that I talk about there. So there's the, patched out VNO, the Home Shops engine, the, GEC. Now, I really thought people would be upset that I, patched it into my railroad, but they didn't. It got a lot of good,
I love that.
Got a lot of good, I got a little good reaction from that one.
That turned out really, really cool.
Yeah, I love that.
And so, yeah, this one's an older picture that the grass there kind of, the fibers aren't kind of sticking up as good as they were when you do like the Boomer diorama technique there.
Yeah.
But I also, I got more skill too as as years went by and I was modeling too.
Oh, there's Boomer.
That's some high praise for you there, Jimmy.
Thank you. And now, so here, I do have a switching layout. So, switch out cars, powered, it's a digitrack system. I use this little layout here to help introduce, friends that don't model, coworker stuff. I take it around, I bring it to places. Jeremy helped me. We worked on this together. This is where I do like the video run-bys of trains when I put them on social media. But people that are, not, maybe being new to, railroading, model railroading, the runaround concept really kind of struggles in their mind when you talk about it. So having a little layout here to run around their train really, really helps get people, get some experience into the operations and understand what's going on. So
Yeah.
helps get people ready for the big layout once it's set up, right? And so here's the big overview of it there. And I take a lot of pictures too. So I take a lot of pictures.
Cool.
I love that.
And we kill a lot of time, switching the different cars out here. So it's real fun.
So how the picture said you're 6.5 feet.
Yeah, I can go back here. Yeah, 6.5 feet by 2 feet deep. That's what it is.
So we've progressed. We went from 1 foot by 2 foot, 2 by 4, and now we're up to 2 by 6.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
So you can definitely, if you've got some space there, but the next picture that I show here, yeah, it's zoomed in. Yeah, this is a zoomed in picture of it there. So you lose the yeah. So now that you don't see any of the background stuff, that's just another picture like you're there, and it's a social media worthy picture that you could post.
I like the fact that you're taking your photos from a cameraman's angle. It's not like you're trying to. It's almost as where you're standing. It looks like the right height. You know what I mean? Like if you were actually there rail fanning it and took your camera out and shot that,
Is one of the industries the gruesome casket? No, I don't think. No, if it turned out that way, it was. But I didn't model that for that. No. And so I did get better at taking pictures. I left all the pictures that I had originally, that I was taking when I first started social media. They're okay, but I, again, start learning more, and you can steal from the best, right, that you see out there. So
right.
I was able to take better pictures,
That's awesome. That's a really cool shot.
And then so here's the VNO, C30 or 6045, the ditch lights installed. And that's a real, this one got a lot of attention too when I posted it.
Dang.
That looks so cool.
That's awesome.
Now, are the little blue signs customized for the Denver terminal?
No, they're just don't tempt me though, but yeah.
That's awesome. What a cool shot.
And then I've also powered the shop diorama too. It's got power leads, and I can run locomotives in and out of the shop, or show off the different lighting functions there. I have a reel on Facebook as well as Instagram, like a blue flag protection light that blinks, it splashes in the locomotive cab. Got a reel on that, so I use what's around me to help just show off the different features that I've installed, to make the hobby fun and give people ideas. So even though there's no layout, or at the time, I guess it's grown, and now I have the switching layout. But again, there's no excuse. You can always model though if you want to do it.
That is so cool.
And then I talk about a little bit about the AI here. So these are the different shots there on the switching layout.
I go and insult our guests.
No. These are all the different tools that are out there for everyone to use. That's all. But you can, there's two different scenes here from, I guess taking, pictures from the same angle. And it helps get, helps tell your story, if that's what you're doing, right? So.
No, that's very awesome. So there is absolutely no excuse for you to, if you've been kind of belly aching about, I don't have the space to build a layout. You don't need hardly any space to have some really, really awesome, chances to model here.
So yeah, if modeling something you really like to do and want to do it, you should definitely dive in and tackle and have fun and put your stuff out there for people to see.
Yeah, I love this. This is fantastic. You're a fantastic modeler, Jimmy. Just full stop. This is great.
Yeah, I mean, I knew about the Denver terminal, but it was like this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is absolutely top-notch stuff. Now, do you have any aspirations of doing? You said earlier that you're working on building your big basement layout. What is that going to look like? Any ideas yet? Is it actually in the works, or is it just in concept right now?
Well, it's in the works. I have, majority of the bench work put up. I say this, I have a real modest basement, so the footprint is square footage of the footprint for the layout's only it's about 440 square foot. That has staging. So double deck operated layout, or layout made for operations. So some people are familiar with, John Parker's, BNSF Fall River. Yep. So an eighth of what that would be, of course.
Which is still substantial from what I understand.
An eighth is a lot there. So I really like to do, I like to model railroad operations, and have other people that are interested in the hobby come by, and can come operate, have Jeremy come by, have Mike come bring the ground beef, and Andy. Nothing we can't tell.
Yeah, because after we went to John Parker's, I don't think any one of the three of us are ever going to get invited back.
I don't know.
Oh man,
that'll definitely not be an evening soon forgotten, I bet you. But no, that's really cool. I can't wait. So you said you're going to have it done by April. So when I show up in April.
Oh, you're going to be here in April? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I'm planning on it. And we're going to test. I might even test out how good your dispatching skills are.
Oh, I'm the worst.
Well, that's why they made you a chief.
Me too.
Yeah, okay. Oh, oof.
Wow, shots fired.
Hey, sorry, you need that signal lit?
Yeah. Well, I don't.
You're not going anywhere.
I'm getting
Mike.
paid. I get paid the same whether I'm sitting still or moving. So no, it's yeah. I'm planning on being there in April. I just started looking into that, so we'll talk. But yeah, Jimmy, that's really, really cool. It's going to be really interesting to get a chance to hopefully get a chance to come over and take a look at it and stuff like that. And it'll be a lot of fun.
It would be, yeah, it'd be great. I'd like for you to come by. Everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can, I might even drag Dorsch with me.
Don't go writing checks.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
You heard it here first. Andy Dorsch is going to be in April in Colorado.
At the
Colorado
train show.
You're gonna catch me right in that window between spring training and then travel baseball in April.
That's right.
I will be I have free time, so that'll be the only time I'll be able to do it. So
yeah, that's a tough time.
Yeah,
you're gonna be hitting a hard time there, but
my life is gonna get very complicated very fast. But enough about me. Twice. You guys don't want to talk about me. So Jeremy, you've been patiently waiting in the wings. Jimmy, thank you. That was a beautiful, beautiful presentation, and I just love what you're doing with the Denver terminal. Jeremy, we're going to kind of build on what Jimmy's talking about building the brand, right?
Yeah, so I did a clinic as well during the last Colorado RPM for the freelance form, and I kind of focused a little bit on the branding. So let me see if I can share my screen here.
Yeah, and what we can do is we'll play some elevator music or whatever just to kind of to lighten the mood here. But here we go. Oh, look at the background on this guy's screen.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess so. When I was creating the Arvada Western, I started thinking more about the image and the branding of it. So one of the things that I've done, and this is what I actually kind of tell a lot of people when they're trying to like figure out what they want to do is, like first of all, of course, is you have your railroad name, and most I think common is always going to be you're going to name it after the area or something like that, and possibly a direction. So obviously that's what I did because my freelance railroad is in Arvada, and originally the tracks kind of go west, so that's why it ended up being western. So I usually will try to direct people to this website. It's fonts.google.com. So the cool thing about it is that when you bring this up, let me see if I can zoom in here.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, so like on the top right here, I can type it in. So I would do Arvada Western, and in like real time, it'll show you different fonts in that format,
Oh,
so you can kind of see how your railroads would, or your name would look in different styles. And then of course here you can really go down and specify what you might want. Like, if I was, doing the, terminal, I'd probably go with something, here, like wacky, right? And then maybe something down this line. I think that would look great for a future logo for the Farland terminal or something like that.
Kablamo.
Right?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Remind me to have you write my Christmas cards too there, Jeremy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got you.
I got you.
So yeah, no, this website I think is a great tool for anybody doing the freelance stuff, or even not just like the freelance stuff. You're wanting to just look up fonts in general, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did a very similar thing when I was building up the Mascoutin Valley. I must have spent probably 3-4 hours just combing through fonts until it just looked right. And it was, sans serif, serif, bold, italic, old English for the Farland terminal. Like those are the, like going through all of the variations and like, and just kind of looking at it. And then I even went so far as to like grab a screen grab, or I printed it out. And then I actually like just taped it to the side of a boxcar to see if it looked right. So this is right up my alley. I love doing this.
So that's where I like started off, right? And I'll kind of go over through my thought process of what I did. But
Sure.
those who have followed me for a while will probably notice I actually started off with a different font and a little bit of a different logo and then changed. So I'll kind of explain that. But the font that I had originally picked, right, was Montserrat. And I kind of liked it because it gave like a modernish feel and kind of uniform. So of course, when I did that, I typed in the Arvada Western. Kind of like I liked how it looked, but I wasn't 100% pleased with it. And sometimes what a lot of people forget what they can actually kind of do to make maybe something look a little bit more modernish is that they can actually space out the letters a little bit. So that's how I actually came up with the original Arvada Western, was through that thought process and just eventually kind of thinking about it and then settling on this. This was the first version of the Arvada Western that I had. But now that I had the text, I wanted to kind of have a logo with it. And I feel like when you're doing the branding for your railroad, you want to kind of figure out what the purpose or the roots of the railroad are going to be, right? So right, since I'm here in Colorado, the Arvada Western starts off in the Denver metro area, goes up into the mountains. I'm not going to have like a beach or something else like that in my thing. But so here in Colorado, we've got these mountains. So this is a shot from I-70, kind of looking towards west as you're leaving the Denver metro area. You come over this hill and you get to see the Continental Divide. So that's where I had actually come up with this logo at first, which kind of mimics what that looks in the picture that you just saw. And then, of course, once after that, just slap the logo on the bottom. And then pretty much just started applying that to some of the engines I had laying around at first. I didn't really have anything uniform when I was first starting off with the Arvada Western. I was literally just microsole and smelling the microsole for like several hours at a night, after I've come back from work, using the Scotch tape and a little piece of a pencil to take it off and get decals made and put them up and slap them on some locomotives and start taking pictures of it.
So let me stop you there for a minute. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my microsol out. We can take pulls off of it together here. I got my bottle right here. But how did you do the printing for the decals? Did you have someone do it for you, or do you have your own like Alps printer to do like the white and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, no. So I've been actually getting most of my decals done through Fusion Scale.
Fusion Scale.
They have an option to where different sheet sizes, essentially like a full sheet, half sheet, or a quarter sheet. You can send in your file to them, and then they'll print it and then send it off to you. So I used a program called Inkscape to make the graphics, and then I would make the document size like like an A4. And then the thing that I really like about Inkscape was that they have the measurements that you can be really precise with. So I would just kind of measure out how I wanted the decal to be sized and like the number board on the side and stuff like that. And I made up a whole sheet of Arvada Western stuff and sent it off to them. And that's how I got my decals done, was through them.
So Fusion Scale Hobbies.
Yes.
And they do custom decal sets. I'll put a link for them in the chat. That's cool. I did not know they did custom decals.
Yeah, they've also got some other stuff there too that I've used that I've really liked from them. Have been like the graffiti, because I'm horrible at drawing. I have no coordination with that and able to make graffiti look realistic. So I've been liking some of their stuff on that, and they've also got the reflective FRA striping as well available.
That's cool.
But yeah, so I wasn't honestly 100% too pleased with this. And the reason being was because when I put the logo on the side, the actual text for the Arvada Western kind of gets blocked off by the handrails. And then so I wasn't 100. I know that's like nitpicking something, but I was just like, man, it's like, and every shot that I look at, the Arvada Western gets like cut off. So then I would sometimes have to like angle the pictures well, so you can kind of like understand and read the text out. And then I at one point did try to take the logo off and then put the logo on the nose, but since the logo was more of a rectangular logo, it didn't look the best just on the nose. So I was experimenting with a couple different stuff, but then around the same time, I was okay. I admit it. Talking to Greg, learning more about Greg's stuff with his mackerel transportation.
Yep.
And then I started going down a rabbit hole and seeing what he was doing, and that's where I grew up in Colorado, so that's how I really got into Arvada Western. But I also spent some time living in New Mexico, in Los Alamos. So
Been
I
there.
started learning. Oh, you've been there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, my brother-in-law used to work for the lab.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my brother. So I've been to Los Alamos a couple times already.
This
Yeah.
explains so much.
That's enough. That's enough.
No, I took
That's enough.
Jimmy. I took Jimmy to Los Alamos. What was it? A couple months ago. He was shook.
Really?
Jimmy, you went to Los Alamos
Yeah, went and visited
On-
for the first time.
on-
Yeah.
on purpose?
On purpose, Mike. Yeah.
Oh my God. That
You've
is
seen things then.
that is in the middle of literally nowhere.
Trying to find a new way to maybe cook some ground beef.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if anybody could figure it out, the men and women there are not the ones to ask.
Nope.
They are not the
They will
ones to
over-engineer it.
ask. They will over-engineer it, and then on top of that, it's not exactly 100% sure that it's gonna stay beef. It's it may end up being some other property by the time it's all cooked.
Beef's like substance.
It's a yeah. It's a very interesting town though.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, we're gonna go down this little rabbit hole here, but it is actually a very interesting because let's see, what is it? It's about an hour from Santa Fe, right?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
45 minutes to an hour.
It's an hour if you drive, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, the way I drive, Jimmy, that wasn't the way I drive. Oh man,
I didn't say
I'm
that.
asking you as the right lane driver.
I am not a right lane driver.
Okay. But yeah, no, it's
So-
about an hour.
Yeah, it's a very interesting place. It's not like what you would think. It's literally a town almost self-sufficient town, right? I mean, there's
Oh,
not
yeah.
very many trucks going in and out of that place.
And if there are,
Yeah, there's no guarantee you know what's actually in it. It might say Walmart on the side. You never know.
You see the Walmart truck go by, and then that tinted
black-
out
The
Escalade
black
following.
vans. Yeah, the
Yeah.
black vans behind it. That's where they get you.
Yeah. See, now we got
But-
the FBI in the chat and Homeland Security on this podcast.
Perfect. Excellent.
They've been following us for a while.
Oh, they
Oh.
know.
They know.
They know.
They know.
Yeah, they just know.
And we started talking about nuclear reactors on one show, and then all of a sudden, our feed cut out real quick,
Yeah.
and then came back on. We know what's going on.
Yeah. So back to the Arvada Western.
Oh, yeah.
Where the hell are we?
So yeah, back to Arvada Western, talking to Greg and stuff like that, living in New Mexico. There was the Chile line down there, and that was the old narrow gauge line that went between Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Toledo, New Mexico. So I kind of created another freelance to kind of build on top of the Arvada Western story called the Los Alamos Northern Line Railroad. And that was intentional because with the Los Alamos Northern Line Railroad, the reporting marks would be LANL, so LANL, which would match the Los Alamos National Laboratory name. So it was kind of the same play on that. So when that happened, I decided I kind of wanted to do kind of the similar thing with Greg, how he has like a uniformed paint scheme across all his 99,000 different short line railroads that he has. So I took the logo that I had originally and wanted to create like a more unified version of it, which turned out to be this. And if you look at it, it's almost just the peaks kind of folded up on top of each other to create what I have now. And then, of course, because it's Los Alamos, had to add the
Jesus God. Yeah. That's not going to get you canceled at all.
Oh no, of course not. So went back to the drawing board, and then I picked a new font, of course. So that's what I came up with. I decided to stick with Futura. Applied it to the Arvada Western logo. Did the exact same thing where I kind of spaced out the characters in between to spread the text out a little bit more, and then I started applying it to the different railroad names, such as the Los Alamos Northern. I decided to drop the line because it ended up being too long for the long hood, surprisingly. So it got shortened to the Los Alamos Northern. But I also wanted to really focus and kind of like have like a unified color for the Arvada Western at the same time, because before I was kind of like going in between. Did I want to use the Canadian Pacific red for the Arvada Western, or if I wanted to use a different type of red? And I knew I wanted to use red because I like the color red. And then Colorado, of course, means, the color red essentially. And then I also started thinking a little bit more about the history of what the Arvada Western was, and all the predecessor lines of the Arvada Western are the old Colorado and Southern, which of course later became part of the CB&Q. So I really liked the CB&Q red color that they had way back then.
Chinese red, I think, is what it's called.
Oh, Chinese red, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
no,
it's
it
called.
is Chinese red. So it's Chinese red, CB&Q red.
Ooh.
Moving on.
No, I'm
then
looking
I
for the
decided-
sound effects here on my side panel. There's some. I'll get to it in a minute.
And then I started applying it to locomotives now. So this was one of the locomotives that I actually like stripped and like completely repainted for the first time. Before that, I was just doing decal, and I do have to make a shout out. This was I got tips from the Killbuck Southern. I think I see him in the chat. He's the one who actually gave me some tips on stripping the locomotives. So that's what I actually ended up doing. Was just stripping locomotives now and then repainting them up into the unified red color. So here it is with the new Futura font, and then kind of keeping the same scheme that I had earlier with the first version of it. But I thought this looked so much better because now the logo was above the handrail, so
Yeah.
it wasn't getting all chopped off, and then putting the actual mountain logo on the nose, I thought looked a lot better in this version. So this ended up kind of becoming like the de facto like phase 2 paint scheme for the Arvada Western, and started applying it to different equipment as well now. Some more road power, seeing how that looks. I thought it looked pretty good, and of course when the freelance form happened, business cars started coming out of everywhere. So I applied it to a business car, and I thought that looked pretty good as well. And then here's also the same style paint scheme with the same font on a different railroad. So this was I had done on the San Luis and Rio Grande. Of course, this railroad no longer exists because of, was it Iowa Pacific Holdings? I think that went under with
Yeah.
everything. So it's now in the prototype, the Colorado and Pacific Rio Grande Railroad, but Jimmy and I have kind of taken it as kind of, I guess what you call like a middle railroad for our stories to be able to connect to each other for a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
And, I just decided I wanted to paint up a locomotive into the San Luis Rio Grande, and imagining what it could be like in the modern era if it had still survived and not become the Colorado and Pacific. But this one I was really happy about because I thought it looked really good as the Los Alamos Northern with that paint scheme.
Oh,
I
And-
like that.
I love that.
And so this one, kind of similar with the Arvada Western, how I was thinking about with the color red in Colorado. This one actually uses the Denver and Rio Grande gold color, which gave it this yellow look, which I thought worked really well because the state flag was also yellow in New Mexico. And
Yep.
since also the former Denver Rio Grande Chili line, I thought, hey, it was perfect color to pick for the Los Alamos Northern.
Oh, that's
So these
that's
all fall under
super.
the Sur rail, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
so Sur rail is trying to be the railroad version of Brannon then.
Possibly, yeah.
With every railroad being a different color.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because Brannon did that with their airplanes. Every model designation of aircraft was a different color.
But
I
yeah,
wasn't trying to
so-
be a joke. I mean, I was trying to be serious.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So and then that's just the system map. What else do I have? I think that was it.
No, that's pretty. That's sweet. I really like that Los Alamos locomotive.
That one turned out really, really cool.
That turned out really good. And that San Luis one too. That you don't see that blue a lot.
No, and that one is actually the Santa Fe blue.
It looks different with the white on it.
Yeah, it really does. So I
Yeah.
thought the blue would come out to be a little bit lighter, but it actually came out a little bit darker than I thought. And then I was just like, oh, I don't know how this
Wait
is
a
going
minute,
to be. And then I just,
San Luis one is blue?
yeah.
I thought it looked black.
Oh no. You drive us everywhere when we go places, Mike.
Oh,
You need to have your eyes checked.
Wait, when was the last time you had your FRA eyes and ears done?
I retire in 4 years and 3 months.
Oh.
You're getting some really good comments here from the
I am having a day today.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. That
I
is
am not on my game. I am just not. Ugh.
no. That's so I feel now since we've gotten through the presentations. I think now is the time that we can share the story about the hamburger, right? I think,
Okay, let me sit down here for a minute. Hold on.
yeah, let's get
I'll lower my desk and sit down here because this story is not for the faint of heart.
yeah, and yeah, I don't think it's gonna get us demonetized, but
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. So we're at it's the evening of the RPM, and the beautiful, lovely, and talented Michelle Kempema worked so hard to put this barbecue together at the museum. And Jimmy and Jeremy and we had already kind of hung out a little bit at the RPM and doing other things and stuff. And we're in line waiting to get our food. And Jimmy, of all people, who at the time I thought was just one of the nicest guys, funny, smart, said, "Hey, if you were gonna cook a meal for a girl for the first time, how would you do it?" And I turned to him like, I've been married for so long. I don't know that there are any more first times for a lot of things. So I'm like, well, I kind of told him. So how would you cook hamburger? And Jimmy, you are now up because I told him I would use a frying pan or, whatever. And Jimmy, this is where you come in to tell the rest of the story. Oh boy, we better not get copyright banged.
No, that's old. That guy's gone.
Oh, that's old. That guy's gone. Okay. So yeah. Now, granted, Jeremy is 2 people behind me and Jimmy in line. So.
Oh yeah, I couldn't see you guys because the sun was in my eyes.
Jesus God.
Well, no, it was.
So, yes. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Let me not keep everyone in suspense here, okay? So, I just asked a theoretical question because this was something that has, this is something that I had somebody, come ask me. They told me a story. So, I would like to say that, it's pretty safe to say that if you were going to brown beef, hamburger meat, you would use pan. I don't think, a good way to maybe, make a first impression on a date would be to use the microwave to brown it. I don't think, I mean, I would try it, I guess, if someone did that to me, but
Really?
I had a friend run that by me.
Seriously?
I had a friend run that by me, and I said, I don't think you should lead off with a.
No.
Well, now this guy's a friend. Jeremy, in line, this guy was a co-worker. Remember? It was some young guy at work.
What? You think
That's
it was
what
me?
No, not you.
No.
No, it wasn't you. I know it wasn't you, but it was.
The names have been changed to protect the guilty or the innocent.
All we kept asking is how did the dinner go? And I don't know that we ever got an answer from that. So that's where the whole hamburger thing comes in, is how to cook hamburger. Is do you use the microwave to cook hamburger?
And that's the
gist of it. And you can draw whatever conclusions afterwards that you want. But it's a rather innocent question that has far-reaching, hilarious tones. And it was one of those moments where I think we laughed for 20 minutes about that whole thing. And then the problem is we were going up to get barbecue.
It's kind of something you have to be there to experience.
Yeah, you had to be there to kind of experience, but it was and yes, Jeremy, it was a very sunny day that day.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was
right?
Yeah, it was very sunny.
So let's circle back for I mean, you're right, Otter Creek. We last time we had Mike Confalone on, we talked about 1970s football. We're talking about,
Green Bay Packers football.
Yeah, we talked about Green Bay Packers football last time. This one we wanted to kind of break away from it, just in case the YouTube algorithm is, kind of wanting to spread us around. Cooking, first date cooking tips. Don't brown hamburger in a microwave. In fact, maybe just go to a restaurant. Chipotle is probably a pretty easy option at that point. But anyhow,
yeah, it was
so what do you guys got going on next now? So do you guys have any? And so you guys going to be around going to shows? You guys going to be at the Rocky Mountain Train Show this year?
Yeah. We'll be at the Rocky Mountain Train Show for sure. I mean, it's right next door to us. If Mike's gonna be able to make it out all the way here to Colorado and make it to the show, then I think there's no excuse for Jimmy and I. We feel kind of bad if we didn't show up, but no, Jimmy and I, we actually have plans to also try to attend Amherst in January.
Oh, really?
Oh my goodness!
Wow,
So
that'll be fun.
Are you
never been?
Oh,
no,
you've never been? What?
Never been. Would
I've
love to go out there.
I've never been there either.
It falls into one of those things where it's, do I go out to Amherst or do I go to Colorado? Do I go to Amherst or do I go to St. Louis? Do I go to Amherst?
Yes.
So no, not both. Well, maybe I'm going to be coming to Colorado twice this year in 2026. So
for the RPM as well.
I'm coming back for the RPM because that was absolutely amazing. So
I think the story about the hamburger, Jimmy, might have resonated with our fans a little more than we're letting on here. I think this one might be a good one. That's for sure. Yeah, the Split Rock here, he says the April show in Denver is always fun. And then, so you got the layout now, Jimmy, and you're starting on that. Any other big plans? Are you going to go upsize one more? like take the act on the road? What's going on? Or are you just going to kind of focus on the layout now?
I'm going to focus on the layout. Talking with Jeremy, Jeremy's actually now he's built a diorama scene of the mountain.
Oh,
I don't know if you got. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, Jeremy, but yeah, he's. It's got trees on it there. You'll see some of it on the Arvada Western as well as the Denver terminal. Social medias. It's a lot of the newer pictures there that you see with the mountain scene. So
Is that it on the couch?
No. That's no. That's one of the smaller dioramas that I first made when I was first taking pictures.
That's the other half of that 2 foot by 2 foot. Piece
Is
of
it seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jeremy's.
That's actually pretty cool. I like the fact that you guys actually. It's very similar to the way Andy and I work with our modeling and everything else like that. We're always constantly throwing ideas and helping each other with different ideas and stuff. And that's whether you're doing freelancing or prototype modeling or just having fun or laughing or making fun of whatever. That's what this is all about, right? Is the camaraderie and working together to help each other become better at the craft. And that's really cool,
I mean, look, he's scoring some points with you, Mike, with the Farland Terminal boxcar there.
I tell you what, I saw that in person. It looks really, really good.
Some of the photos.
You did a good job, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Look at the details. Those antennas on the top. How did you get those to be so thin?
Oh yeah, that was in Greg's kit for that. What did I do? I think I literally, those. Do I have it? No, I don't. Those little tweezers, but the ones that stay closed.
Oh
yes,
yeah,
they're like a forceps.
Yeah,
like this.
Yeah, that one. So I put it on that, and then I put it on the little alligator clips that are used for electrical, when you're soldering stuff.
Yeah.
And then literally just kind of really slowly. I didn't get it on the first time, or the second, or third, or fourth, or fifth time. Got really close to it and put a little bit of CA glue, and then when Greg gives it to you, the strands are a lot longer, so it was easier just to keep it as the full strand, and then later on just come with scissors and just cut them all off even.
Oh wow!
So that's how I was able to do that. Thanks to Greg for that one. That was a nice kit.
Oh, and you patched out for the Sur Rail.
The alligator car.
Yeah.
I know he probably didn't like the safety stripes and the graffiti, but I really wanted to bring this into the modern era, and
I think you killed it. I think that's awesome.
That looks really, really cool.
Yeah. I love how you faded the big A.
Mm-hmm.
That's really well done. Oh man, you're a fantastic modeler.
And then the Arvada Western car is clean as a whistle. Go figure.
I mean, hey man, I got to keep up my own branding image, right?
That's right.
I unlike maybe I got workers who clean my equipment all the time, and we.
It's no coincidence the Michigan Interstate one is not really dirty either.
It's got some on there, some residue.
And it's right now. Oh no! See that you did on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did it on purpose. Yeah. You did that on purpose.
I had to.
Yeah, that's.
Couldn't help myself.
Greg's gonna see that, and he is. I know for a fact that he is gonna see that, and I'm gonna get a message.
So, can we talk about this picture here a little bit? Is this one of your dioramas?
Yes, that is. That's actually the more recent one that I worked on.
Is that the one you were talking about just now?
Yes.
Wow.
This is fantastic.
So that was done with a lot of Photoshop, actually. So what you see in the first middle portion there up to maybe where the tree line is, That's the actual layout, and then all the mountains and the stuff is photoshopped and filled in.
Sure.
Because behind that is literally just a blank wall, or my
Yeah.
kitchen, or wherever I take the picture at.
Yeah, and Photoshop, you can just use that lasso tool and pull the background right out and put whatever you want in.
And then it uses a little bit of AI, but it's got a really nice like fill tool where
Yeah.
you can highlight a certain area and then fill it, and then it does a really good job in blending it in.
Photoshop does have a nice generative AI where it will pick up like what's on either edge of it and blend it in real nice.
So that's
will
what
do
I've been doing if I don't have a backdrop, or if I wanted to try to put a different little image to make it look like the train is in a different location, like right there.
Yeah. This is, I mean, geez, this is
That's the
This
same
is a-
diorama.
Yes, same diorama.
but you can see put like the sagebrush type
Yeah.
foreground here. I'm gonna guess that's photoshopped in, right?
Yeah,
And then the background as well. That's
mountains.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So this is more. So you're trying to kind of. Okay, I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but you're trying to recreate more of the Front Range area.
Yeah, the Front Range area, or one of the other lines that the Arvada Western has goes down south towards the Tennessee Pass, and there's this like valley area kind of there. Surprisingly, not technically where South Park is, in that area, and there's a bunch of mountains like this in the background that are kind of like that.
No, kitty, this is my pot pie. Oh, you did the Seaboard Central like that. This big patch graffiti here. Whew.
Wow.
Yeah, and all that is just decals for the graffiti, a mix between
That's a decal.
yeah, those are all decals.
Wow.
So there's a question from Otter Creek here. So how deep are these dioramas, Jeremy?
This one I want to say is maybe about 16 inches, because I had actually purchased they're those like project foam boards, but they're supposed to literally fill in the insulation between wall joists.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there was literally just like 16-inch by what, like 4 feet, I think, and that's what this was all just built on top of.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. That is really, really cool.
Split Rock, unfortunately, we don't get any sponsor monies from Chris. We're just doing it out of the goodness of our heart. Plus, he's got cool stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, these are awesome. I like that.
That beer car. That beer car is really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah, I'm low key kind of waiting for because they Exact Rail made them, but I've been kind of waiting for Scale Trains to maybe do another release so I can pick up some new ones. Jimmy says I have enough beer cars, but
You do.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've acquired several myself. I've got like maybe 10 of them.
I don't like. I think you should just go for it. I mean, if it makes you happy, just do it. Just spend the money.
No, is that in Eel River? Is that the what's the name of that beforehand? It was, or after Eel River. Who bought it after Eel River? Eel River did them originally, and then somebody else, and then Exact Rail came out and had them, and now Scale Trains has them.
yeah,
Right.
But I haven't seen Scale Trains do anything with them yet, so.
Yeah.
But no, I
Nice
wanted
card.
beer cars on my rail because of this. I actually grew up watching them go by me when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
So this is all on your Facebook page.
Yes.
So so we've just been going through the Arvada Western Facebook page. You're also out on Instagram as well.
Mhm.
So if you prefer the gram over Facebook, you share pretty much all the same posts out there as well, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm gonna bring up the Denver terminal so you guys can drool over that for a few minutes if that's okay, Jimmy.
Sure.
Because I don't think a lot of people know, or maybe they do, and I'm the one that's been under the rock. But yeah, that like all of the cool modeling that you guys do, and like I'm gonna bring this car up here, or this where your business car is the beginning of your page here. That's awesome. I think this is such a sweet picture.
That business train was really cool. Wouldn't you say, guys? Don't you think? That we're gonna have to get a Mascoot in the Valley car out there next year.
I agree.
I am putting one together.
Excellent.
Yes.
Perfect.
So I am putting together a business car.
We'll put it right behind Mike's.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yep.
God.
And then turn Mike's around too, because he's
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, you got it, because he's got that Hiawatha deal.
Sorry, I'm dyslexic. I didn't know which way the cars would go when I was setting that up for you.
You guys. I turn around and all of a sudden I'm like, the hell is that my car doing that direction?
Yeah.
I have no idea what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
I know you don't. Let
Look
me
at
see.
that.
Oh, wait a minute. I had to unplug it. That actually is a pretty sharp car. No
That's
lie.
a beaut. I think that's so cool.
I don't think, being very serious, I don't think there was a single car on that train that you couldn't say would have been a realistic possibility. There was not a one of them was gaudy. They were all well thought out. They were all really well modeled and painted and decaled, and it was a really fun. There's the AI machine.
Here's my AI.
Yeah. But it was a really
truck.
fun train to watch go around, and it was a lot of fun.
Those look really good. Those VNO units.
There's a diorama again. That's putting the static grass on the way on.
Yeah, I think
Those.
that's awesome.
Have you ever thought about maybe doing something where you take one of the tracks, like say maybe in the center or something like that, one of those, and have an engine with its hood off and the whole thing being like worked on and fixed or something?
No, yeah, I have. Yeah, I thought about that. So it's in the works. It makes for a good scene.
Mackerel?
Oh my God.
I don't know who that guy is.
Can't get away from it.
I know.
Quebec and New England.
Those
So, yeah,
cars
you
turned out really neat.
Oh yeah, they did.
He did, yeah.
This is a nice roster shot. I like the switcher with the big logo on the Herald on the end. I like that. That turned out good. Oh, KSRR.
Colbeck Southern, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like to eat
Ground beef.
ground beef. Yeah. I didn't have ground beef.
What's for
I
bread?
didn't have-
It's what for dinner.
It's got to be
Yeah.
specifically microwaved ground beef. There's that extra level of flavor that occurs when you throw it in there for about 5 minutes.
From the macaroni and cheese cup that spilled all over the place the night
Oh, I don't know
before.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam
So-
Elliott. Sam Elliott's probably rolling in his grave just thinking about if he ever hears this conversation.
Well,
You know,
So section crew out there, if you guys have questions for Jimmy or Jeremy here, let's get those into the chat here. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to do the awkward pass the microphone over to Mike for the summary of the show this evening. And then we're going to go into some more hamburger helper recipes here as we close up for tonight. So, Mike,
well, yeah.
I gotta say that leading up to this show, it's been a fun week getting to know Jimmy and Jeremy. I can see why you had a lot of fun with these two out in Colorado. That's for sure. What did you think of the concepts that they got going on here?
Well, first of all, guys, honestly, both of you, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to doing this, and I have been. I knew at one point I'd almost get Jimmy to spit take, and I did do that. I almost got him. I almost got him to do that. That was great. And Jeremy, thank you for the softball on that one. That was kind of that was a nice lead up, but it was. This is what we've had a lot of laughs tonight, and a lot of real light moments, and kind of gone down little rabbit holes here and there. But this is what this hobby is about. Now, Jimmy and Jeremy and myself, we didn't know each other from Adam up until we met in Colorado. And these two guys, I would get on a plane right now and fly to Colorado if they needed something. I would do it in a heartbeat. They're two of the most genuine people you're ever going to want to meet. They're great modelers, and they're a lot of fun to be around. And this is what we need more of in the hobby.
Yeah.
Is this, not all of this contention that's been floating around in certain areas, in certain arenas. It's model railroading, for God's sakes,
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of everything else, man, you guys are damn good at what you're doing.
Just getting.
Honestly, it's one of those things, and I saw parts of your clinic and everything else, clinics and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now that I got a little deeper dive into it, holy shit, guys! If this is what you guys are doing on a smaller scale,
right?
What an entire layout is going to look like. They're going to be museum pieces. They're going to be.
What is operations going to be like?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those situations where you immerse yourself into these little dioramas already, and they're only 2 foot long, 16 inches deep. They're not big, and I hate to bring his name up again, but Boomer it has mentioned doing the little vignettes.
Yeah.
Doing the postage stamp scenes, and you guys have nailed it. You guys have knocked it out of the park, and I can't wait till April to get it back out there and see you guys again, and to hang out and make some more fun memories and stuff like that. And I just really appreciate you guys for the people you are first and foremost, and for the modeling that you're doing second. You guys are top-notch guys, and thank you very, very much for being new friends to me, new friend to Andy, and for being just damn good modelers. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I want to just touch on one comment here, and then I'll pass the microphone over to you guys. I was really impressed with the story that you guys are able to tell, right? So like it's the like your modeling tells a story within a very small space. And Split Rock, says here, you don't need a barn to have a great layout. And I think you don't. I mean, look at what you guys have been able to do with a foot, 2 foot, 6 feet, 4 feet, like the different camera angles, the different shots. Those box cars all lined up tell a story. Some are rusted out, some are, pristine. The collection of locomotives at the shop, the way that they're set up, how the figures are placed around it, they all tell a story. And just how the business train is set up in the scene, and the interaction of the Arvada Western with the Denver terminal and some of the shots all tell a story, and you do it in such a small footprint. I think that's amazing. And I absolutely, and a lot of people tonight in the chat were saying that this was inspirational, and I think it truly is, because to Jimmy's point earlier, there's no excuse now. The peer pressure's out there. Get off your duff, go and find a piece of foam insulation, an old piece of flex track, and build something, and take your models out of the box and put them on the track and take a picture of it and be like, oh my God, this is what, and tell a story. And I'm so glad that you guys came on and talked about this tonight, because I think it's something that is overlooked in the hobby. The hobby press doesn't talk about it. And I think it's a fantastic entry point to the hobby. People of all, levels can get in and start participating by doing stuff like this.
One other thing, Andy, that I really just, when you said that and we're talking, what I just thought about? One thing that stands out about both Jimmy and Jeremy's little like dioramas, there's maybe 2 structures on the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
When we go in rail fan, do we rail fan right down in the heart of cities all the time?
No.
We want to get the hell out of the city and get out in the country where it's pretty.
Right.
We want the trains, the real life trains, to be behind a pretty background.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jeremy, yours is that diorama that you've got, that could be in the middle of anywhere, Colorado.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's a very generic but very sustainable scene to your area.
Right.
And Jimmy, that your engine facility thing or your shop facility, that could be any place. That could be any shop. It could be any place. And the other one that you had, that could be anywhere in the middle of, you don't need to have $700 worth of structures on your to get the story across, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's really hats off to you guys. That's
yeah. Do you guys, maybe Jeremy, do you want to just kind of any final thoughts here tonight?
Yeah, no, of course, first of all, thanks for having us on. It's been great to talk to you all about our stuff, and I'm kind of resonating with y'all. Like that's what this hobby is great about, is working with, making friends, talking with different people, doing all that kind of stuff, and that's what I've always thought was really cool too, especially sponsored, not sponsored, sorry, but Chris, throwing on the. You would have never met a bunch of the other freelance people if it wasn't for the RPM, and and it was just amazing to see everybody from with their little freelance and short line, all these different road owners coming to one place, and getting to actually see meet the people behind the railroads, because before that like for the longest time it was just you just see the trains, but then now you get to actually meet the people and, talk to everybody and get different ideas and, and then, but not only that, for a while, for the longest time, when building the Arvada Western story, it's just been like, intermingling with the Denver terminal and stuff like that. But, through the RPM, it's been great to be able to intermingle the story with other people, such as,
Right.
the Killbuck Southern, or, possibly even, with Alabama Central, just different stuff. And then, just now, even to afterwards, just, keeping in touch with a lot of these people and sharing ideas and different projects, and kind of keeping the motivation going sometimes, when things might slow down for whatever we might be working on, and getting the inspiration to do more stuff. And I feel like that's been honestly the best part about doing the whole freelance shortline stuff.
No, I couldn't agree more with you, Jeremy. What are your thoughts, Jimmy?
Well, people want to know who I was if I never started with that 2 foot, long by 1 foot deep diorama.
Yeah.
No one would know who the Denver terminal was. I wouldn't have been able to get, all the good advice from everyone else that's been out there. So I'm, myself and Jeremy are very fortunate. We live in Colorado, and there's the Model Rover Museum here, as well as the BNSF Flyer Division with John Parker. So
Yeah.
It's been very, the community is great, with everyone that we've been able to meet, and there's no shortage of advice anywhere. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. That's what I like to end off with.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you're doing it at a very high level, just from what I can see from here. And so I look forward to seeing what you guys have coming down the pipe in the future. And I think Mr. Parker's here in the chat this evening. So it's good to have him here and watching over us, making sure that you guys stay in line, so to speak.
He did a really bad job of it. I can tell you that much right now. At least when the three of us were there, that's a different podcast.
We'll have to. So that's funny you should mention that. So we should talk about what's coming up on the second section here. So next week, we're going to be back Thursday night, 7:00 Central. We got Ken McCory coming on the show. We're going to talk about his. We're gonna totally go in the opposite direction. So we went from the small diorama to a entire building dedicated to a 4-deck layout. So we're going opposite. We're gonna talk to Ken and talk about his journey about building his fantastic, and it was a prototype railroad at one point. I believe he did Penn Central, but now it's freelance. So we're going to talk with Ken about that. And then I think Mike and I are going to do a brew with the crew Saturday night after Christmas on the 27th.
I better write this down.
Yeah. We're gonna do brew with the crew. We're gonna do our year-end in review on the second section. Everyone gets together, have a couple of beverages of your choice, and we'll talk about what's going on in the show. Invite people to come on that any volunteers that want to come on, talk about their model railroad, talk about whatever you want to talk about, just to kind of hang out and have a fun night of model railroad themed fun. That's going to be on Saturday night, the 27th. We're going to give away some stuff to, I think, our friends at Engine House, and maybe home shops can maybe have some stuff from home shops to give away as well. So I think that would be kind of cool. So, Jimmy, Jeremy, I just want to thank you both for coming on the show again. Really cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great content tonight, and absolutely loved getting to meet you over the course of the week. It's been a fun week, that's for sure. I did post, just so everyone's aware, in the show notes tonight links to their Instagram, Facebook pages are out there, so make sure you guys follow them there. I think I also snuck some of their web pages in there too, so make sure that you guys are going out and following them, pumping their numbers up, and spreading the good word about these two very, very talented modelers. So I think that's pretty much gonna take us to the end of the show this evening. Any final thoughts here, Mike?
Nope, none. Thank you very much, Jimmy and Jeremy. Appreciate it. Like I said before, you guys are a hell of a credit to the hobby, and keep doing what you're doing. And we will definitely be seeing you down the road here pretty quick. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not even a question. You know.
Yeah.
It's and Colorado will never be the same again.
No, it will not.
Hey, just
No,
remember
we'll
what
not.
happens in Colorado stays in Colorado.
Except for I got to remember to bring my own bag. I got to remember to bring a bag this time.
A
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah, because they don't have plastic bags and
Oh,
plastic
Yeah.
bags. So if you need to buy something, you need to have a bag with you in order to do it. Otherwise, you're carrying it out in your hands.
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Colorado,
Well, you're gonna have that. You're gonna have that.
California East.
Yeah. So, anyways, so like we always say here at the Second Section Podcast, when we try to cook hamburger in the microwave and it always comes out bloody, what do we always say, Mike?
Just keep modeling.
Good night, everybody.